Last week, we were busy doing everything in our power to try and make a bit of grass grow. We also had a heifer with an incredibly bad back foot, which meant I got some practice trying to jab a cow in the field, which, as you're about to find out, actually came in incredibly handy.
The lameness saga continues. This time, however, it's not the cow, it's a bull. We ran Wizard back from the other side of the road on Sunday morning and just looked at him and thought, something's not quite right with you. You're putting your foot weird, and it's kind of his front foot. It looks like it's got a bit of a crack in it. It's not bad. It doesn't look like he's hurt himself, like his shoulder or something, but it's not good because lame. So we're back on the Ultra Pen and Loxicon, but this time it's for a big boy. Syringe, we've got some Ultra Pen here. Take the Loxicon, and we're gonna want a good needle. Some syringe and needle there. We haven't got enough Ultra Pen for him, so Dad has been and picked up some more Ultra Pen from the vets, because luckily for us, our vets have moved to a place that is between our farm and our ground at Thornton, away from home. So it's bloody brilliant. If you want something, you just drop in and pick it up on your way past. So he's picked us up some more Ultra Pen. He's actually picked us up some more Loxicon as well. So hopefully we'll have enough now to do the job. Oh no, if that wasn't good enough news, check this out. Old Floris is doing a job and doing it nicely. Look at that. She's wet. Beautiful. Had an interesting morning this morning. Dad broke this because he got in on the other side. You can see how it sticks up there on the driver's seat. He got in and his button off the back of his trousers went down the hole, and then he couldn't plug his seatbelt in. He couldn't work out what was happening. So he took the one off this side, put it on that side to get him going, and then I managed to get the button out and get it working again. But he's also found this for us. Another balloon. So we're now at 42. You might remember last September, it was September the 16th, I started counting. I have had a few that I've not documented because I think people were getting a bit fed up with it, but we're at 42 now, and we're about another, what are we today? About 5 weeks off. So we might get to the 50 if we're really lucky, especially with harvest just around the corner, because we're starting to clear a bit of ground. It's the best thing to do with that. Goodbye. What does he weigh? Like 900. And it's 1 mil per 15 kilos. That is really annoying. He was fine with the blue tongue vaccine, so I'm not, he just stood there. Yeah. So I'm hoping that he'll just stand there for this. Especially considering you don't want to run. I'll take that with me as well, just in case. Come on, lad, stand still. Come on. That's it, good boy. Just want that painkiller now. I got warning. He is good with jabs, to be fair to him. He's not like bloody 007. So he didn't necessarily play ball at the end. I got there, but got him all done. He was having a bit of a run round, which means his foot can't be that bad. He did have a bit of a limp on it, but being front foot, I'm not as concerned as what I would be being back foot. Obviously, if he's going to mount a cow, he needs his back feet to be good. Being front foot, like he'll be fine. I think he'll be all right. Those balls have been in now for like 6 weeks-ish. So 7 weeks. When he gets about 9 weeks, we'll pull the bull out of the heifers. And if he's still not good, we'll swap the bull out of the heifers and we'll stick him down there if we feel that Wizard needs a hand just to kind of sweep up. Hoping that he'll be all right, but you can't take these things for granted, because once it's done, innit? Now, before I get ahead of myself and get onto the next job, I just wanted to say that on the 30th of May 2026, the National Beef Association are bringing you the Beef Expo all the way from Melton Mowbray Market, just down the road from us here in Leicestershire. It is an incredible celebration of everything to do with the beef industry, and we've got everything there from panel discussions with some of the big politicians and YouTubers like myself, all the way through to an animal health and welfare hub, as well as the usual cattle lines right the way through to machinery and tech. It is going to be an amazing day, and I really hope to see you there. The board of the National Beef Association work incredibly hard on bringing you this expo and fighting for the beef industry every single day. So whilst you're out on farm, you can rest assured that there is somebody making sure that your voice is heard. So if you're not already a member, I really recommend that you look into it and sign up, and hopefully I will see you there on the 30th of May. Anyway, on to the next job. We've got to move all this kit because my neighbours reckon they'll be here at the end of the week combining, and we're going to dump a load of wheat in the back of the shed here for us for the winter. So they're going to bring the wheat straight off the combine, put it in our shed ready for us rather than having to transport it all winter. So that's really good, like really kind of them. We have the best neighbours. We honestly have the best arable farming neighbours. I know there'll be a lot of people who will say, oh, I've got good arable farming neighbours. Like, no. These guys are wicked. They're just so good to work with. They're always really fair with their prices when it comes to like straw and stuff. They're awesome arable farmers. We like to think that we're pretty decent at beef farming. So if they need a livestock thing, then we can help them out. If we need an arable thing, they help us out. I do the hedges for them. Like, it works really well. And we've got gates in and off there so we can move straw really easily and all that sort of stuff. It just works great. And they're just so accommodating to us. So stuff like bringing this wheat in and putting it in our shed so we haven't got to ferry it backwards and forwards all winter and going in and out their grain store with like dirty wheels and whatever. It's just brilliant. Honestly, they are great. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. We're gonna move all this stuff out, and then I can have a brush up in here and just get it nice and tidy for them. That was tight. We should have put bigger gates on these sheds when we had chance. Actually, that's not even my fault. I didn't build this shed. Dad, you should have put bigger gates on these sheds. Talk about making it hard work. So I got this all cleared out and it's now empty. I'm gonna have a brush up and get all this floor clean, and then I'll come in with the big bucket brush as well and get everything super tidy. But you might be able to tell, stuff kind of sticks to the wall and stuff in here. Because stuff always sticks to the walls, I'm gonna spray it with like an insecticide and get grain weevil really bad. Particularly in this side, not so much in the other side where the hay is. I don't know what it is, but I have this kind of theory that because the sides are tin, like modern day sheds, you'd put concrete walls. But this was built in 1996. But because this is tin, if I touch that now, it's actually quite hot. And despite the fact you'll tip grain in here, you'll put heaps of blowers in, you'll blow it cool as much as you can, I think what happens is, because that wall is west facing, that wall is south facing, we get rain kind of prevailing from that direction. It hits both sides. And then we get the sun, and it's kind of that greenhouse effect, it gets super hot. And I think that's part of the trouble with why we can't keep it cool, and then we get the grain weevil, and it's kind of like the perfect storm really, and it just, yeah, struggles. So I think what we'll do is, unless the neighbours want to dump corn in here because they're trying to get it off dry and they can get it dry and they want to use the shed to get more in, we'll probably not push it up. We'll put blowers in it, but not push it up so it's not against that wall, it's just on the concrete, and then it should be easier to keep it cool. So I'm going to give it all a good brush up, and then I'll move all that stuff at some point, but it's not desperate because we can get enough grain in here for the time being. So we'll give it a good brush up, and then we'll get the spray out and spray it off. Right, I think, being honest, there's only one way to deal with this. Yeah, boy. Right, so that is all nice and clean and ready for some corn. Now I'm gonna pop you up here because I've got something to say. If, like us, you are a little bit unsure of exactly how you're gonna make it through the winter because we have not got enough bale silage, no matter what happens now, we're never gonna have enough bale silage to last us through the whole winter. So we're gonna have to do something a little bit different. If you're in the same boat, I have created just the tool for you. I have done a feed calculator that you can download off of our website completely for free that can help you work out exactly how much things are going to cost for you. So you can put in the number of animals in your group, you can put in your estimated daily live weight gain, so 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, whatever it might be. You can then put in your start date. It will give you a projected finishing date based upon what your start weight is and what your target finish weight is based upon your daily live weight gain and your start date. It's really, really cool. You then can put in your ingredients, so price per ton and how much you're feeding per day per animal. And what happens is then it calculates for you the total cost per day of feeding each individual animal. It tells you the total cost per day of feeding the group and the total overall cost of feeding that group. So how much it's going to cost you to feed that group for the whole period of time that it's on its diet. And then below that, it comes up with a break-even point. So at the top, you can put in your purchase price or your cost of production if you're a suckler herd. And then it takes all of the costs into consideration and gives you a break-even price. So it might say that you need to, I don't know, get 1,500 pounds an animal minimum to break even. And if you can get 2,000 when you're making 500 pound an animal. Underneath all of that, it gives you a monthly calculator as well. So if you're trying to work out a budget or a cash flow, it can tell you exactly how much everything is going to cost you every single month, per ingredient and in total. On top of that, you can do it for grazed grass too. So if you're feeding out at grass and you're including grazed grass in your diet, there's a grazed grass calculator on the second little sheet at the bottom, which you can then utilize to try and work out how much it's costing you to do grazed grass, and then you put that in there as well. It's a really cool little sheet and it's completely for free. So if you go to baldiesfarm.com, click on the members area, sign up to be a member if you're not already. It's completely free, and if you scroll down, it is down there underneath all of the other calculators. I'm hopefully going to work out how to do a little YouTube video to explain to you exactly how everything works and how to do all the inputs and stuff. But it's completely free, and hopefully it will be up by the time this video goes up. So go on there and download it completely for free, and honestly, it will be so easy to use and you'll be really grateful of having a bit of an understanding of exactly how you're going to make it through.
So after I'd finished waffling on, it was time to hop on the tractor because a big job had broke out. But first, that means blowing up the factory fitted puncture that comes with every John Deere ever made, usually on the front right hand tyre. Then it was hopping into the cab to drive up the drive and crack on with some work.
So it's probably about time that we go and get that hay in from up the village. It's been out a fair while now, it had properly cooled down, and with the neighbours being pretty imminent, I actually had a text message this morning from Thomas telling me he was going to be here tomorrow to start combining. So we're going to want these bale trailers for moving some straw. So might as well get that hay moved first and have that job ticked off the list. And hopefully then when he comes combining, we can just concentrate on like getting the bales made, getting them carted, job done. This wheat looks really good, so I'm very hopeful of a decent crop of straw. The only thing is it's going to be super dry and it's going to be pretty dead, so it will smash up more than what we'd normally have it. But that also is probably not going to be too bad a thing if we're going to end up feeding it. I even spoke to the nutritionist this morning who was saying that it was the right thing to do to start planning what we're going to do about winter feed. So he's going to come around maybe next week or the week after, and we're going to sit down and have a good discussion as to how we're going to manage this, because it's not going to be easy, but I think we can do it. And if we got this straw off this wheat, with it being that bit more dry, a bit more smashed up, it should feed a little bit better as well. So every cloud's got a silver lining. We've got to look at the positives here, because there ain't many of them, so we've got to cling on to them. This is the worst bit about getting in this ground up the village. You've got a long trailer, got to back in. Bale trailers are a bit easy because you can see over the top of them. The worst one is the cattle trailer, because you can't see over that and we've got no cameras. This isn't too bad. When you get the traffic and that, they always watch you do it. And I reckon they think you're amazing because you can back in here. They don't realise that backing a big long trailer is so easy.
We went for each other like a bullet from a gun. Faster than the sheriff's drawing, hotter than the sun. Didn't see it coming lately, I've been on the run. You know you've seen my face before, so let me tell you something. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land.
You know what? I am actually surprised, gobsmacked even, as to how much grass we got on here. I mean, look at that. It's quite lush. Sort of ankle-ish height. There's even quite a bit of red clover. That red clover is quite a funny story. We found some red clover seeds on the rafters in the shed a couple of years ago when we were having a clear out. And I said, oh, I'll just chuck it in a vert sprinter and just go and spin it on cow's close because it's not the best ground up here. And I just spun it on and I started at that hedge over there and I worked across and you can see sort of here, I ran out and it's all come. It's amazing. There were some other seeds in there, they didn't really come, but that red clover, that came. So I'd probably be tempted to do that again at some other point. But I'm really impressed how much grass is on here. I'm kind of in my head, I'm thinking normally we would bring some young stock up here, some like the heifers, you know, in-calf heifers or something like that. But there's too many of that group to bring up here. So I don't really want to split them up, because if we split them up, then we've just got two groups, and that's a pain. So I'm thinking, if we got enough grass at home, we could, in theory, come across here with the tone fert like a couple of times, give it a tinkle, and get it growing, and then maybe mow it again. Because what are we now? Beginning of August? So we've got plenty of time. As long as we keep getting a bit of moisture, we could get some basic silagey stuff off this, maybe even another cut of hay if it stays dry at the end, you know, if we get the right weather. I think there's enough, there's plenty of grass, there's more than enough to put some foliar on. It's not going to make up the difference, it's not going to solve a problem, but it's going to make it better. And that's what we're trying to do now, just try and make it better. So there we go. That's what we got. Probably about a third of what we'd like to have, realistically. I mean, it's better than nothing, so can't complain too much, but I would like to have seen a bit more in here. Like I said earlier, wanted this side full, wanted that side full, wanted that barn over there full. And we've got this. I think grass growth is doing all right at the minute, but I mean, it's not extraordinary. Gonna get a bit of fert on, I think. We're gonna have to just risk it, give it a go, see what happens, and hope that we get some growth. And if we can, then we can make a bit more silage or do something, but it's gonna be tight. We know now how much we've got, like a hay and silage point of view, kinda. We can make a few predictions on silage, but we kind of have a fair idea. When the combine gets here and we start baling, then we'll know how much straw we've got. We've got 400 bales of straw down in the shed that will be all right for bedding or even for feeding if we have to, all big square baled. They're all dry, so that's a positive. Then if we can make a heap of round bales of straw, we can feed them, ring feeders, whatever we end up doing. It's gonna be a fun winter. Oh my God, it's gonna be fun.
The hay is safely stored in the shed, and while it won't carry us through the winter, it does give us a solid plan to start from, because you can't steer a stationary ship. And as they say, failing to plan is planning to fail. For another week, Baldy's Farm, over and out.